Imagine this. You wake up in the dead of night to a chilling draft brushing against your skin. The lights flicker and your heartbeat quickens. You glance toward the window and see nothing, but you feel it. Something or someone is there, watching, waiting. Now ask yourself, how would you survive this moment? Welcome to tonight's tale, where every decision could be your last. Our story begins on an unassuming autumn evening. Jane, a freelance writer, had just moved into an old Victorian house on the outskirts of town. A place she thought would inspire her next masterpiece. The house had charm, antique furniture, creaky wooden floors, and a history that whispered through its walls. But here's the catch. It had been abandoned for over 50 years, and no one in the neighborhood dared to explain why. Now, let's be honest. Moving into a creepy old house because it's a great deal sounds like the start of every horror movie ever. Jane must have skipped Horror 101. But Jane's first night was peaceful, almost serene. She even laughed at the stories the locals told her. Until she found the journal. The journal, tucked beneath a floorboard, was bound in cracked leather and filled with shaky handwriting. It spoke of them, shadows that moved without light, whispers that called your name, and the final entry, don't let them in. That night, Jane couldn't sleep. Every creak, every gust of wind felt amplified. And then it happened. A knock at the door, at 3 a.m. slow. Rhythmic, unrelenting, against every instinct, she approached the door and looked through the peephole. Nothing. But when she turned to walk away, the knock came again. Louder. Now, quick question. Would you open that door? Because if your answer is yes, I'm questioning your life choices. Jane didn't open the door. Instead, she bolted it shut and retreated to her bedroom. But locking a door doesn't stop what's already inside. Hours passed, and the silence became unbearable. Then faintly, she heard it. Her name being whispered over and over from the attic. Her legs felt like lead, but something compelled her to climb those stairs. Each step groaned under her weight, and with every creak, the whispers grew louder. She reached the attic door and slowly turned the knob. Inside, she found an empty room, or so she thought. As her eyes adjusted to the dim light, she saw them, shadows swirling in the corners, converging toward her. She screamed, but the sound was swallowed by the darkness. Okay, quick pause. At this point, if I were Jane, I'd be halfway to another continent. But Jane, she's about to face something far worse. The shadows didn't just surround her. They spoke, not words, but memories, secrets she'd never told anyone. And then, they asked her a question. What will you give us to leave? Jane's voice trembled as she answered, anything. But the shadows laughed. Not anything, they replied. We want you. Before she could scream, darkness engulfed her. When Jane was found weeks later, she was alive, but changed. Her hair had turned stark white. Her eyes carried a haunted look, and she could only mutter 4 words. Don't let them in. The house remains abandoned, but the whispers, they never stopped. So, what would you have done differently? Could you have escaped? And while we're talking about the unexpected, let's switch gears. Did you know the scariest thing in real life isn't ghosts, but the power of time slipping away? Check out my video on the power of compounding to learn how to turn time into your greatest ally. It's a lesson you don't want to miss. Click here, and I'll see you on the other side.